Alright, good. Alright, welcome to another week of Soulful Afro with Miss Yvette. We have a special show this evening. Of course, you all know it's Black History Month, African History Month, Latino History Month, all in one as Black people. And we have a special guest in the studio as well. I'm going to go ahead and take it to Miss Yvette. Miss Yvette.
I just love the way he introduces the show.
Yes.
Can I just say that? Thank you, my brother. Ain't nobody better. No one better.
Appreciate that.
I believe that every single event in life happens is an opportunity to choose love over fear. Oprah Winfrey. Welcome to another fabulous Soulful Afro with Yvette show, where we talk about issues that touch our core with the hope of finding a soulful beat in our lives. I'm here with my queen, my dear mentor friend, Rhoda Johnson Tuggett. Good evening, my dear. What's the quote you chose?
I chose a quote by Martin Luther King.
Okay.
Hatred paralyzes life. Love releases it. Hatred confuses life. Love harmonizes it. Hatred darkens life. Love illuminates it.
We have a lot of love going on up in here today.
Oh yeah.
It's all about love, 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 love. Call us tonight, 857-366-7256. Visit us and watch us on voicecast.com. Look for the Soulful Afro with Miss Yvette show. And if you're looking at it from your iPhone, Hassan has said that you can tune in to tunein.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
And look for Africa Radio Online, and you can get it from your iPhone. So tonight is all about, the first part of the show is going to be about acts of love. What have you seen in the community that makes you feel love? What did you hear? What did you do? What did you receive that was an act of love? And acts of love are those that we put out to folks, but also the ones that we are in the receiving end. One of the conversations I want to touch on is the issue of our self-love, because I truly believe if it doesn't start there, then it's hard to see anything else that comes with it. And then the second theme part of the show, then we're going to touch on headlines. I really want to talk about the loud music verdict.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the Marcus Smart, the basketball player issue. Basically, my headline is about Black boys and feeling like they're under attack. Another verdict that did not land well, and sort of touch on that. And also, we have two Academy Award nominees that I think are pretty stand up, that I want to speak on. One of them being like us, both, Rhoda is from Honduras and I'm from Panama, and what that means for us as Black women. And then, Hassan had said something last month at the end of the show. He says, I was born to be Black. Mm-hmm. And I love that. So we're going to touch on what that means for us as Black History Month, because we don't have a choice to be that every day. And what comes with that is what we need to touch on. So, we're going to take our first break, and we're going to be right back. Instead of a bunch of music tonight, too, I chose this song by Tamia, So Into You, because to me, it's so into whoever you're in love with, who you care about, but also so into yourself and what you bring to the table. So, Hassan, take us for our first break, and we'll be right back.
All right, you're listening and watching Soulful Afro with Yvette. Keep it locked right here. We'll be right back.
Okay. How you feeling?
Good.
Are they seeing us or the video?
The link you sent, I'm trying to get the video of the work. Right now they're seeing
Us?
I see you because remember, people want to see. They want to see us.
What we're doing in the between, just don't slip and swear.
Yeah.
Whenever you're ready.
1 second. All right, all right. Welcome back to Soulful Afro with Miss Yvette, right here on AfricanRadioOnline.com and VoiceCast.com. Miss Yvette.
Thanks, Hassan. So I'm going to be throwing out quotes throughout the show tonight. My next one is, I have learned not to worry about love, but to honor its coming with all my heart. So I think it's perfect timing, but then I think every guest I have is just the right guest for the topic. So tell me, when you think of acts of love, self-love, share some of the wisdom that you move with, that you have shared yourself, to me and to others in the community.
Yeah. When I think of acts of love, is loving someone unconditionally, whether they're at their best or at their worst. Or acts of love, for me as a mother, when I see my sons, and I see them do something wonderful, it just lightens my heart.
Yes. My thing is anything with my family and with like my friends that I really care about. It just makes me feel giddy and just something simple. You know, I think we don't show. One of the things that I posted throughout the month is that we don't say "I love you" enough when we mean it. We sort of hesitate and we're waiting to see if the person that we're saying is going to respond back, and it shouldn't be. If you feel it and you need to say it, then go ahead and say it. It shouldn't be an issue of you're not only going to say it if someone responds back to you.
I've made a decision this year that every time I speak to my family members, especially my family members, even my friends that I hold dear, I say, I love you. It's so, for me, so endearing and empowering for someone to say, I love you. We don't say it enough.
And the thing is that we wait till when something has happened, we're losing someone, someone has gone, and then we worry about it. And you and I both have had many people in our lives come and go. So we know the power of not wasting that time.
Exactly. Because even to my godchildren now, the ladies, they're grown women with children now. And I speak to them as often as I can, and at the end of every conversation, I tell them, don't forget who loves you. I love you. You know? So affirming.
And people, you know, it's like, oh, you said it. And it's like, I said it, and I know you may not be in that same state of mind, but I'm okay, because I at least what's in me
Yeah.
to be said.
Because sometimes we hold it in,
Oh.
we want to say it and we don't say it, and then it's nothing wrong with saying it.
Yeah.
It's sometimes when you say I love you, it's like a bouquet of flowers falling.
Yeah, well, that's what we want.
Yeah.
If we're not getting that, then something's wrong. What about self-love? You know, we recently lost a queen in the community.
Yes.
And you said that you spoke
about self-love.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, especially I'll speak about females, women, We are so full of love. But a lot of times we give all our love. And we either don't receive it or believe we should be loved. And I think that in order to love, you must first love yourself unconditionally.
Absolutely.
And then to put another twist on it, when we become mothers, all of a sudden that other part of us is more important than us.
Yeah.
And I think, in my opinion, that we're mistaken because we were somebody before we had those children.
One of the things around self-love, in doing the work that we do, you being a board member to Encuentro, is, trainings around identity and Black identity.
Yes.
And one of the questions that I ask throughout the trainings is, walk across the room if you love yourself. And recently I did this, a class at Boston University. And when I asked the question, some of the students hesitated to move.
Yeah.
And I thought, And one of the students was clear in saying that she's thought that if you move so quickly and you're so clear about it, that may be seen as conceited or full of self. And my whole thing is, you need to be full of yourself to a certain extent.
Exactly.
Because we get knocked down, kicked down, rugs pulled from under us so many times throughout the day. With the messages and the TV messages,
most of the messages
getting on the train or on the bus that don't feed our full self. That you need to know who you are and what you bring to the table and what you love about yourself.
Exactly. And we don't see enough of that. And there are not many examples around for young women and women, I would say. They feel bad if they start loving themselves because they say, "Oh, you're so selfish." Well, I have to be selfish for me in order to survive, in order to give. I have to give of myself first. Give to myself first.
I mean, one of the things about when you realize that you're in a good place, which is where I feel that I am, is that you can sit with yourself.
Exactly.
I don't need to have a crowd. I don't need to be bombarded. I don't need to hear it from other people. I can spend an entire day at home and be as happy as can be.
Exactly.
Because you're clear on who you are and what you bring to the table.
Who my friends does not define me. A lot of times my community defines me, but still don't define me. I like to be, as you say, there are times I just don't want to be bothered.
Yeah.
I want to sit down and just be with me and see what me is saying or where am I going? What am I doing? Because if you don't have those quiet moments with yourself, it creates problems. You look for love outside of you. And speaking as a mother and grandmother, I think that's why our children and grandchildren need to understand who they are. Not always get gratification from the outside, but from within. Just sit with yourself. Have your toys, sit and be with yourself.
Well, we have young girls, and we work with young girls that are getting into very unhealthy relationships because they don't know that.
They're looking for love. Well, that they're looking for love in all the wrong places. I believe that it has something to do. Like, you love your children, you hug, kiss, and hug them up all the time when they're little. But for some reason, as they get to be teenagers, sometimes parents forget that they still need that hug and that loving. I don't care how old they are. And there are times when they push you away, you know, because I know there were times my son didn't want me out there. I go right up and bear hug him.
I know just everything about my dad as I've gotten older. I'll take it. I'll take it. Just the sound of his voice when he calls. And also, the relationships. I think, when you are clear on your worth,
yes,
then when you find it, it will be, through the roof, through the moon of what you bring and what you give. But when it's not in that place, and no relationship is perfect.
No.
And you learn from every relationship. But I'm at the point in my life, and I think a lot of women need to be at the point where you don't have to lose yourself.
That's right.
In it.
Don't forget about yourself. You're a very important human being. I mean, you cannot just give gratification to other people or this partner that you have, and you're not gratifying yourself. I'm crazy about myself.
Yeah. See, that's where it came from. It's her fault. It's her fault.
I just love me some Rhoda.
But why is it so hard for people to say that?
I just feel like they can't say it.
Or we have folks that are probably listening to us and looking at us going, these two women are so full of themselves.
Yeah, but we should be. Because we're helping everybody else to get where they're supposed to get. And we're forgetting about ourselves. We're leaving ourselves behind. We get so engrossed as women of the caretaking business. And it's either the partner, the children, the family. And before you know it, you're dragged down. You're just so beat up. And you're saying to yourself, why am I so beat up? Why am I feeling this way?
And the thing is that we have to be clear on that because last month's topic with Wendell and Gigi that was my guest around social media and Twitter and the Instagrams and all the reality shows is that the images of Black women on these shows are horrendous.
Yes, I agree.
And sadly, then when you and I walk outside of our homes to those that are watching the show, that's how they expect us to be.
Yes, definitely.
But they haven't met this Honduran and this Panamanian.
Oh, no, they have not. Oh, no, they have not.
And when they have, they'll know what we're talking about. They're like, I'm looking at you like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Yeah, one time a young lady said to me, we went out. She went with my friends, and we all was a group. And I always smile. I love to smile. I feel like a smile is much better than a frown.
Yes.
So she said to me, why are you smiling? And I said to her, why are you frowning? I'm happy. And why shouldn't I show the world?
And even if you're not happy, because that word happy can be defined in so many words, but even if things are bad, but you find some kind of peace that's inside of your core, I can still, we've been bombarded with so much snow and cold and whatever, and I'm a hot blood child.
Yes.
But I've got to bundle up and keep moving.
That's right. You can't let it get you down.
So our acts of love, our self-love is important.
Very.
It goes, that then extends into the second half of our show, which is around Black love.
Yes.
The love of this.
Yes.
But the love of the root that we come from.
Exactly.
And we are being faced right now with those who don't love the root or the skin that they want.
Exactly.
So it's not we're not common.
Yes, we aren't. And we also need to remember if it wasn't love, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
For all what our people went through, they had to believe in each other and love one another in order to move forward.
You know what? That's the quote right there. That's the quote right there. So we're gonna take a break and close out this first half. How are we doing for time, Hassan? Good for time?
Yeah, we have about 25 minutes.
So let's close out this part and then let's come back to headlines then.
Yes.
We're gonna come back to headlines because the headlines are juicy.
Yes.
And Hassan is gonna join us into conversation around the headlines, and then we'll go with our second half of the show. So we'll be right back. And hopefully you're tuning in, you're watching to this month's Soulful Afro with Yvette show with my special guest, my queen, Rhoda Johnson Tuckett, and my producer, director, the man of all men, sitting in the studio with us. Hassan is going to also be joining us in the second part of the show. Thanks.
All right, you're tuning in to Soulful Afro, right here, Black History Month special. Keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Do we have folks watching?
Yeah, we got 15.
How much?
15.
All right now. Okay. So so I'll do the Academy Award ones last. We'll jump into the smaller issue one, which is the basketball players.
Yeah.
And then we'll go into the verdict. Oh, I want to read what his letters were not introduced into trial, and the jail is full of blacks and they all act like thugs. I think the legal system is scared of a backlash anytime there is a white on black incident, but don't get excited when it's a black on black or even black on white.
Yeah, sure.
This may sound a bit radical, but if more people would arm themselves and kill these idiots when they're threatening